I'm doing healing for an elephant today. This elephant's name is Suzy with Wildlife SOS. I want to thank this client so much for donating another session to help these elephants. These are really meaningful experiences. And for those who aren't familiar with these sessions, I'm going to put links in the description so you can check them out. Really worth watching. All right, I'm going to read your goals for Suzy, and then I'm going to get started. So you say, "Hi, Abby. Pari was such a surprise. She was actually the inspiration to start doing these sessions, but I felt the strongest pull to visit Ginger first. And I still want to go back and revisit her, so that will have to happen soon. I learned so much with all of these sessions. The next lady who I'd like to send healing to has already done a lot of healing and had already joined another elephant, and they were doing wonderfully. But unfortunately, her friend passed away recently, so she is alone again. Her name is Suzy, and her friend's name who passed away was Asha. Suzy is blind, and Asha was her constant companion and guide. I hope we can bring her some comfort, relief, and love as she navigates on her own. Hopefully she won't have to be alone long." Okay, so Suzy, and maybe the spirit of Asha would like to come through too. That would be pretty nice. I'm gonna relax and get in the zone here, and let's go visit Suzy. Okay. Okay, so I actually enter into a really loud noise, and I feel like my breath is taken away, and I'm actually looking around in the dark to try to find my way. And I can't hear, I'm trying to hear the sound of something familiar, and I'm not hearing that sound, and I feel like I'm in a panic. I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to relate to this. I'm not accepting, by the way. So I don't feel that Suzy is accepting of Asha having died. I'm definitely not accepting of this. That's how I feel when I go to Suzy. That's what she's emanating. I feel like I can't accept this. I can't accept this. And I feel Suzy is not wanting to be comforted. Like I'm telling Suzy, I know that you feel this way. I know why you feel this way. But Asha isn't here anymore. And I experience Suzy is not wanting to hear that, not wanting to believe that, not wanting to own up to that truth. That's the first thing that I walk into, okay? Because what Suzy says is that what she sees all around her is the darkness. With Asha there, she sees no darkness at all. With Asha not there, all she sees now is darkness. She saw all the colors again. She saw everything. Like Asha was her ability to see in full color. And now without her there, she sees only darkness, and she can't, psychologically, like she can't accept this. She can't cope with this. She's not, I really get it. I really, really get it. So there's quite a lot of layers, and it's like echo, okay? Especially from the face, the head, the top of the head, the ears, and it's like ba 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 echo, okay? So each echo, like if you were to drop like a little stone into a pond and it creates those like rings, okay? They're like echoes. So we see the density of the water create the rings, but that does exist in the energy world. So I'm going into each ring is like an echo of its own reality. And I can kind of pinpoint 5 specific echoes that are making this completely intolerable for Suzy. And it's almost like her face is drawn and then another ring around her face just a little bit further out, and then again, and then again, and again, and again. So I see this. And the first ring I say is heartbreak. I touch the ring and I say heartbreak. I know this is heartbreak. And she just starts to sob. She just cries and cries and cries. And she tells me that Asha is not like her eyes. She's like her soul. Like Asha not there is like a part of her soul not there. Like she doesn't feel whole without her. And I know that there's going to be more of a story behind Suzy's life before Asha. And it's like we can go into the past, but she's really staying in the present. But I know a lot of the heartbreak is not just about Asha dying. It's about her life as a whole and how she found freedom from everything she'd been through with Asha, and now she's left in the dark. She still carries the energy of her experiences, of her memories. This is majorly altering, just touching this first ring is already altering the energy around her head, big time. And particularly her crown chakra, I would say crown chakra is the most impacted, but I also feel third eye as well, but big time crown. It's not time to move on to the second echo yet. She's just crying and crying and crying. So I'm going to let her go into a space where she just cries. And then I'm going to go touch the second echo. So that way the first echo is healing in a space where she is safe to cry and to feel all of this just flushing out of her emotions. Second echo, actually I see a tree. And I see a peaceful tree at that. And the tree is very simple. It's not even that large. It's small, actually. It has a bark that is a whitish color. And it peels. I see the sun is hot. It's like I see kind of wavy lines. I experience dryness. I will say that this tree is like a spirit. And it is still, it is consistent. It is the same. It never talks back. It doesn't ask anything of you. It's a solid, stable, consistent tree, okay? And it's the tree. It's not like the sun. It's not the ground. It's the tree. There's something about this tree, and I feel that it impacts Suzy's heart. This tree symbolizes stability and simplicity and consistency. And as the tree radiates itself, its personality, its expression, it creates peacefulness in her. Waves of peacefulness. And these waves enter into this other space where she's been crying. And they calm her down, and the tree is like sunlight now. The tree itself is like gentle, loving sunlight. It is like warmth. I almost feel like this could be like Asha, because I feel a kindred spirit in the light that shines from the tree into this other space where I see that Suzy is crying in the dark, alone, okay? The light is coming in and it is warming her body, is warming her heart. This is on the level of you found your one and only soulmate. The stars are aligned, and now the soulmate is gone. And you'll never find anyone who ever comes close to being that person. And that is the level of Asha to Suzy. Because I experience this dull, thudding, kind of aching in the heart. And there's no one that will ever replace that. No one will replace Asha. This is this emotional healing process, okay? So let me touch the third echo here. It cuts my finger, actually. And I see what is a lion with a lion mane. I mean, it's a strong lion's face. And it has green eyes. And it is looking at me. And it's like a solid body, a solid stance. It's solid in confidence. And it's almost like the eyes are telling me how I need to be. This lion is speaking to Suzy and telling Suzy that she is strong, to be strong in confidence, to be strong in her body, to be strong in her will, and strong in her stance. And Suzy actually sees the colorful lion, the green eyes, the face, the colors of its body. She sees its personality. She sees the strength that it emanates. She sees it inside herself. And the lion is not here to hurt her, it is to guide her. So Suzy actually has like a spirit animal guide, and it is a lion. Suzy the elephant has a lion animal guide. Isn't that cool? As well as her soulmate Asha in this life. It's like elephants aren't too far away from humans, right? I mean, we really aren't that different, are we? We look different, we have different needs, but we have feelings, and we have life lessons, and we have animal guides and soulmates too. Like these elephants do, just like we do. So let's go to the fourth echo. It's actually a human person. And I can't really understand this human person because I see their presence and emanating from like a thread, okay? I see what creates thread that you can sew, and now bam, we have a shirt, or we have sheets, or whatever. I just see a kind of creamy white thread, and it's really, really long. And it seems like it's not all collected into a smooth piece. It's kind of frayed. I feel that this human being is, I guess, laid back, is not necessarily, make sure their hair is put in place every morning, that before they leave the house, that they got their makeup on and they look right. Seems more laid back, kind of like a hippie level type personality. Is on the quieter side, a good listener. And what I like about this human being, this reminds me of something. So if you want to teach a squirrel how to eat out of your hand, you're going to you can't just do it one time and expect the squirrel to trust you. You're going to have to come again and again and again to the exact same place. And you're going to have to be still as you can be. And you hold your hand out with the nuts that the squirrel likes. And you have to teach the squirrel to feel safe around you, to feel safe eating out of your hand. It takes time to do this. And so this human being is has no problem taking the time that is needed in order to help Suzy feel mended and safe again. Just Suzy with Suzy. Suzy with Suzy's heart and life experiences. Suzy with the opportunity to make new friends. I don't even feel that this human being would be an elephant therapist. Is actually just a human being who likes elephants. It might even be one of the caretakers of Suzy. And I feel this human being is so peaceful and so calming that it's going to really help her. It's going to really help her to be around this human being. Because again, not only is Suzy going to learn from the lion guide, is going to learn from this human who is an incarnate human being who's also a spirit guide, okay, in human form. I also, one thing I like about this human being is not, it's like they're kind of relentlessly bright. Like they aren't, when their energy is around Suzy, it's not thinking about, oh, poor Suzy, oh, Suzy has lost Asha. It's actually like, hi, Suzy, how are you today? It's focusing on today, not what happened, not the loss. It's focusing on, it's relentlessly focusing on living and life and doing what elephants do and getting her into a rhythm and a routine with life and focusing on life, okay? And in such a nonchalant way that it's all like no big deal. It's a good life, and it's constantly a really nonchalant, positive reminder that is keeping Suzy into a rhythm and a routine that's very healthy and is going to help. All right, so what's this fifth echo? Right now, they want me to take all of these four and move them into one energy and to place it into the crown and the third eye. And we're going to actually place this energy not only in the crown and the third eye, but we're going to go to the throat chakra and the heart chakra and the emotional gut and the sacral chakra and the root chakra. In front and behind, above, below, within, in all sacred directions. It's helping her feel collected. It's helping her feel strong and like herself. It's helping her to feel safe in the experiences that she is having. She actually feels silent. Not celebrating, but silent and collected. And it is dark, but it's okay. The darkness reminds her of loss, though. So you can say she lost her eyesight, but it feels like the darkness, though, is like the loss of love, not the loss of sight. And now I'm in this energy space here with her, and it's dark. And I feel a bit creeped out because she's kind of strange energetically. Like she's sitting upright like a human and her back's against the wall, but she's an elephant body. And she's not necessarily letting me in, and she's kind of... It's almost like we're on the city bus and I'm looking for a place to sit down, and there's this girl that's like glaring at me like, you know, I don't think so. You're not sitting by me. And then I go sit by her and she's like, you know, but maybe the reason why she's like that is because she needs me to sit by her. So I'm like, I know I can't replace Asha, but you know what? Here I am. And I'm going to sit by you. And so she's kind of gyrating from the heart, like kind of a clenched tight energy, okay, of discomfort about me. I don't move, I don't speak, I barely blink. Like, I'm just still. Almost like I'm not even there. And because I've done nothing for a prolonged period of time, I know it's just seconds for us, but in this energy state, it's like hours, days. She's relaxing and she's being a little more exposed of herself towards me. And her skin turns white. And she says she's ready to die now. She asks if I'm like a Grim Reaper, like I'm here to carry her spirit away. I say, you didn't die, Asha died. It's like I don't have a right to say that name. I say, you are alive. She says, I am going into the earth now. Like I am, I don't know if this is real or not, or maybe some cartoon. Is there like an elephant graveyard? Like elephants go to an elephant. Maybe that was Lion King or something. I don't know where that comes from, but I see her skin turning white, and she shows me an image of herself walking a long distance to a place where she can now die, where her bones can be laid to rest with other elephants even. I feel like it's still a depression that's making that decision, not a completion. And I don't agree with the depression making that decision. That you don't make that decision in a state of depression, because the depression is then manipulating you, so you don't really know what you want. You just want to, you don't want to deal with the pain, is basically what you're saying. She says, who am I without Asha, though? And that without Asha, then she is not herself. Therefore, then she must also die with Asha. I say, but there's other elephants that are really wanting to meet you, just like Asha. And you don't know them yet. But you have other friends. She's got, this has inflicted so much pain that it's actually caused her soul to go, like, to turn into a darker side of itself, because the pain does that, okay? It makes us feel like the thorn that kind of stabbed into our heart. The death of Asha is like, it kind of changed our soul, So I'm looking at this here. Because I just touch her third eye, and I tell her that it's okay if this hurts. I mean, it's okay that this hurts. But she is a happy elephant, a loving elephant, a best friend. She is a family member. And it's like the darkness and the loneliness is what's causing the thorn in her soul to create that, the loss of Asha, obviously. So I want to continue to encourage her. And I'm going to show her some other elephants, okay? Because I got to get her out of this dark place. Okay, what is the fifth echo, actually? So my guides are reminding me about this. Is water. And I see that Suzy is now standing in water. and it's just her. And she feels the water on her feet, and she hears the sound of the wind. And she just collapses in the water. It's not very deep, like a foot at best, and she just starts to cry. And she just cries and cries and cries. And I show her herself crying in another dimension in this fifth echo. And I said everything was feeling a lot better when I blended the first four and I placed all those meaningful images into your chakras. And now when I go into the oneness, we're just reaching the next layer of your pain so that we can heal that. And the fifth echo takes us to you crying in the water. And I see that the fourth, this sort of merging in the dark place that she's in, is sort of absorbing into a brighter, sunnier place with the water, and it's absorbing into there, and she's just crying out the pain inside of herself. She's just crying it out. And she's crying out the sound of, I don't want to live anymore as well. She's just crying it out. Wow. And there's something weird, like, it looks like a white pill, and it's huge, it's big, okay, and it's thick, and it squishes out her heart. And I start to see more of these, and they just start to squish out her body, particularly around her heart and her emotional gut, and some around her sacral chakra. And she's starting to feel somehow better. She's starting to feel air, the taste of air and breath. She's starting to have a clear mind. She's starting to feel peaceful. She's starting to feel like she's back in her body and like she's herself again. She's starting to regain a sense of willpower and personal strength. It's not like triumphant, but it is good. It is very good. I show her the human energy and the lion energy and the tree spirit. Are all helping her to heal and feel better. And she agrees. And I tell her that it's okay to find strength again and to find new family. She likes that idea, actually, because she does not want to be alone. She doesn't want to be alone. She wants to be around other elephants. I still feel Suzy is capable of being around other elephants, and I feel like she can do this. I feel like she can recover and heal, and she can be around other elephants. I'm seeing the process of her working through this loss is helping her to become stronger again in herself, to find herself again, and to try love again. And a reminder that Asha is always going to be in her heart, and that she's not lost that part of herself, but it is within her heart. Still a lot of grief, I will say, but we're making incredible progress. Why don't I leave Suzy? Because for me to bring Asha into Suzy's energy field is way too vulnerable. So it's like the shining of this tree, this light to her. It felt kind of like Asha trying to reach her, but gently. And so I'll go to Asha here briefly and we'll see what she's like. It's kind of a place of, it's dense, it's kind of withdrawn. I expect it to be much brighter than this. But it could be that there is it's like a soul bond, so she could be feeling Suzy's pain. It could be bringing her into kind of a heavier place, because that happens when souls are really closely connected, that can happen. That's what I need to do. I tell Asha that come with me, because I'm going to guide her to a much higher dimension, because she's really concerned about Suzy. And we're talking about pure love consciousness here that feels the pain of a best friend and a loved one, dear family member, best friend. And I'm actually disconnecting them both, because Suzy needs to experience Suzy and Asha needs to move on to the higher dimension, where then Asha can breathe and understand something brighter and know how to help Suzy in a stronger, healthier, higher vibrational way. Asha is actually really is following me. It doesn't even ask questions. She just chooses to follow me. And it's weird, like we go through a dimension that's really noisy and loud. It's like I hear a door open, door close. We're in the next dimension. This dimension smells like watermelons. It does. And it's like every door we open and then we move through, like we close it, move to the next door. It's getting to something brighter and easier going. But this last door is a little bit tricky, because it's kind of opens to a ladder, and she's working with an elephant body and she's supposed to climb this ladder. And I tell her, you're not an elephant anymore. And she's still holding on to being an elephant for Suzy. They say you're not an elephant. It's like telling a human being you're not a human being, or you can let go of the human charade. You're not a human. You've moved over the other side. You're everything now, okay? You can be a star. You can be a little fly. You could be whatever you want to be. I tell her she can be a human being. She could be a little insect. She can be stars. She can be air. She can be whatever she wants to be. But she's spirit consciousness, so she's just like the energy of love. She starts to cry. And feels clearer. And she says, I am a spirit. She looks back and she knows she cannot look back again, because she does not want to leave Suzy, but she feels like something of herself is causing Suzy to have a harder time letting go and moving on. And so she looks back at the ladder and she becomes a human person, and she looks Egyptian, and she climbs the ladder. And it's interesting because the ladder starts to disappear and she still is acting like she's climbing, but she's entering into a really bright light, like a really massive star of light. She's just entering into it. And she becomes just energy. And I see that she's absorbed into the heart of the star. And I see that she is falling asleep. And that as she falls asleep, she releases that sort of density of herself, and she leaves it with a star, and then she travels as a spirit to what can only be described as heaven, source, oneness. And it's like she chooses to completely let go of Suzy until she is guided to remember. And she's doing this as a gift to Suzy to help her let go of Asha, so Suzy can continue to live her life. And I see she's part of Golden Light now. And I feel that something of a heavy burden is starting to lift from Suzy, because the presence of her friend there is making it hard for her to want to meet other elephants, even if she wants to. It would be kind of blocking her from making heart-to-heart connection. And what I want to emphasize here is time in the energy world. Like, it could be a million years forgetting Suzy and then remembering, and it was only yesterday. Okay, so time is all times. And it's an incredible decision without, reflecting on it. I don't often see souls like this quickly following through this quickly. Usually they're kind of attached to different ideas, but we're talking about elephants versus humans. So humans have a way of becoming attached to things that take a lot longer. So just don't even think about it. Just keep going. Just don't even think about it. I have to think about it. No, you really don't. You can let it go. Where this is Asha's just like, okay. I'm going to just let this go. It's like, wow, impressive. All right. That's how you get to heaven there. That's how you get to source without, it's you just keep moving forward and don't feel like you have lost or anything. You just keep moving forward to the love of all and trust in everything. All right, that's what I called to share. Thank you so much for this. I really relate to the story. I feel like a lot of human beings could relate to this elephant story. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, also for watching, and I hope you all have a very wonderful rest of your day.